Welcome to the Dice Tower, a video cast all about the world of board games and the people who play them. This is the 2010 edition of our annual Top 100 Board Games of All Time, featuring the Vasel family.
Welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel. This is my daughter Melody. We love to play board games. Lots of fun. We've played quite a few of them, and so we're going through our top 100 countdown. Some people have asked me a couple questions in regards to this countdown. They'll say, why do you mix them? Why not do yours separately than Melody's? Well, for one, we're doing this together as a family, so I like mixing them together. And two, well, actually, see reason number one. That's really why we do it. Other people ask me why I don't show my games, and that's mostly because I've done full reviews on all my games, and secondly, because this is already taking us long enough, and setting up all my games would take forever and a day. But, be it as it is may, we have 10 more great games to show you, 5 of Melody's and 5 of mine, so let's get started.
Number 65, Pizza Bake-Off.
Pizza Bake-Off has two sides of the board. This is the side for the little kids, but the side we're talking about is this side here. And what players are trying to do here is they are trying to finish their pizzas. Each player has a recipe card which shows what 3 ingredients they need for their pizza. Like these two pizzas here. This one needs pepperoni, mushrooms, and tomatoes. This one needs pepperoni, black olives, and pineapple. And so players are going to be moving their piece around the board, and they do that by playing cards. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to collect the different kinds of ingredients. So we see, here we got pineapple and black olive, and as you get these ingredients, you put them on your recipe, and sometimes you get ingredients you don't need. But you move by playing cards. Like this one says plus 49. So if you're on 20, then you would go to 69. And when you're at 69 here, you get to take a certain kind of action. In different places you take action. Sometimes if you're over in this section, you get a pineapple. Over here you get an olive. Over here you get a tomato. And the game loops, so if you go over 100, you just add up and keep going. And there's different addition cards, there's subtraction cards, and it basically is a lesson in addition and subtraction as you move your things around. But you're also trying to maneuver, because you have a choice of what cards to play, you're trying to maneuver to the right spot to get the right ingredient. There's some luck, there's some cards you can draw, but mostly it's moving around, getting the ingredients you need to finish your pizza.
I think this game is fun because you're trying to get different toppings for your pizza, and of course, almost everyone likes pizza, and who doesn't? Well, this game will really help you with addition and subtraction. Number 65, 1960.
I'm a big fan of political games. I like games with politics. Unfortunately, there's not more of them. I would probably play any good political game has a good chance of making my top 100. And this is one that's really fantastic. 1960, The Making of the President, recreates the election between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon in 1960. And just the way that it helps the electoral system, the way everything fits together, it has a very similar mechanics to Twilight Struggle, which is a very, very fantastic game. But this is one that I'm very eager to play quite often, and it's 1960, The Making of the President.
Number 64, Duck Duck Bruce.
Duck Duck Bruce is a simple game made of a deck of cards. On your turn, you draw one of the cards and place it face up in front of you. You can continue to draw so, but you can stop at any time and you take all the cards that you've gotten. The reason that you may want to stop taking the cards is because if you ever draw a card of a type that you've already drawn, for example, here I draw snow, that snow and all the cards in between the two snow cards are discarded, and you get to keep any that are left over, in this case, none. But you might have gotten to keep them some. Also, if you ever draw a Bruce card, everybody shouts Bruce for the fun of it, and then you decide how many cards you're going to steal from someone else. You can go up to 1 to 3. You then roll a die. If you roll equal to the number that you said you were going to steal, or higher, you can steal that many cards from another player. At the end of the game, players will sort their cards into piles of the same type, and only the highest number of that type counts. And you count up all your points that you've gotten, and whoever has the most points is the winner.
Duck Duck Bruce is a very fun game because you can yell Bruce when you see the dog and duck and try to steal other people's cards, trying to get as many as you can, and I just think the artwork is really cool. Number 64, Pillars of the Earth.
Pillars of the Earth is a very fantastic game, one that I find myself really enjoying, not just because of the nice components that are in the game, and I do like the expansion too, but I mean, look at these. You're using these wooden blocks to build a cathedral, and then of course there's your cubes that seem to be in all these games, but it's the idea of everything you doing fitting together. You send people out to get the goods, they come in, you use different people to politicalize or politically, control different areas of the board, and so that you can be the one to put the best parts on the cathedral and make the most points. It's a very thematic game, and that comes from someone who's never read the book and probably never will, but I still like the idea of building this huge cathedral, working together and working against one another to put it together. That's a lot of fun. It's a game that I haven't heard a lot about in the last couple of years, but it's still going to be on my top 100 list.
Number 63, Fuzzy Tiger.
In Fuzzy Tiger, players are playing cards at the same time as other players, and the cards take place in a certain number of order, and that card will tell you how far you sneak towards Tiger. And if you can get close enough to the Tiger, you can pull out one of his whiskers and get points here on your point track. As you pull whiskers out of the Tiger, though, the Tiger will get closer and closer to waking up, and when the Tiger does wake up, whoever's closest to him is going to take some damage, and the person who's farthest away from him also takes damage. That's basically just coward points because you were a fraidy monkey. So anyway, at the end of the game, after a certain number of rounds, you take your points, you subtract your damage, and whoever has the highest score is the winner.
I like this game because you're sneaking up on the tiger to pull his whiskers out and also trying to move away so the monkey in front will be the one that gets in trouble because you're being a sneaky monkey. And I really like the part of how you're trying to get the most whiskers, and it's just fun. Number 63, Democker.
I already said that I like politic games, and this is maybe the grandfather of all politic games, Democker, which is a game about the German elections, and I guess educational because I knew zilch about the German elections until I played this game. It's a heavy game. It takes 3 to 4 hours to play, and it's not a game that on your first time playing through you'll probably take about halfway through, and everything then will click together. But when it does click together, it's fantastic. You're trying to win different districts and get enough districts to win the overall thing, and you have to sometimes give up on some areas. Controlling the media, you change your political positions at the drop of a hat, which I guess isn't too, maybe it is realistic. But either way, a lot of fun. Democker.
Number 62, Holy Cow!
Here's a scoring sheet for Holy Cow. Okay? Interesting? That has nothing to do with the game other than that it's a scoring sheet. We're more interested in the Holy Cows. As you can see, our cards with pictures of very abstract, strange cows on with a bunch of holes in them. Basically, each turn, players will they have one card in front of them, and then another player will hand them another card, and you put them together to see how many true holes you have. For example, here, this Holy Cow has one in the back, and he has 3 in the front. Now, other players, whoever's turn it is, can shout the back, the front, or they can shout the whole cow. They decide what you're going to be looking at. After you're done looking at that, each player has to decide, do they have more holes than everyone else or less? If they think they have more, they shout Holy Cow. If they think they have less, they shout Yellow Walk, which is Holy Cow backwards. Then everyone compares it. If the person who shouted is correct, that's how many points they got. If they're incorrect, every other player gets points. So you have to be careful. But, this game is just neat because of the multiple different cows that are included. There's really cool looking cows, and it's fun to match the holes up together. And sometimes, like this cow, there's no open holes.
Holy Cow, the game that is really good for young children. The artwork is really cool. of how there's holes in the cows, trying to guess of how many holes are for the cow. It's just really fun for me to play.
Number 62, Thieves.
Thieves is a game all about exploration, and that's a lot of fun. I mean, the idea of exploration is fun, but what makes this game interesting is that it comes with these bags, and when you explore, you're actually going to be drawing tokens out of the bag. Most of the time you'll be drawing nothing, but occasionally you'll be drawing awesome treasure. And that aspect of exploration, which actually makes sense with the mechanics of this game, really elevate this one to one that I absolutely like. Yes, I will admit, there is wild swings of luck in this game. You can do the strategy right, go to the right place, explore, and find nothing. But I still am attracted to, still very much like it, probably because of this mechanic right here.
Number 61, Buddy Buddy Moose Moose.
Kind of odd to show you Bunny Bunny Moose Moose because half the game's here, the cards. And as you put these cards out, and when a 100 card comes out, the round is over and you shout, bang! But as you put these cards out, someone's reading the poem. Listen, do you hear someone? 'Tis the hunter with his gun. Do not panic, do not cry, lest you catch the hunter's eye. If you calm and clever stay, you may swiftly sneak away. And they keep doing that until they shout bang when a hunter comes out. But usually they're putting out different sorts of animals on top of these stacks. But that's half the game. The other half is that while the game is working, everyone who's playing the game is doing these motions. They're doing the bunny ears, or they're doing the moose antlers, and they're either open or closed or up or down, and you have to do the right thing to try to get points and to try to avoid losing points. That's the game.
Buddy Buddy Moose Moose is a fun game that is really funny to see adults do when they do hand motions on their head, and it's really fun to do the hand motions on your head, and when you see the hunter, the bang at the very end, it surprises me, and I actually get goosebumps.
Number 61, Domain.
Domain is the underrated game from Klaus Teuber. Everyone knows him for Settlers of Catan. But Domain is a game in which you're building kingdoms. You want to see the game? Here's the game. But if you look here at the back of the box, and you can see the game board, as players are setting up the pieces, you're putting down different kingdoms, trying to take over the different areas, and it's very much in your face because every little piece of land counts in this game. You're really trying to steal the land from other people. You're pushing them, making trades, and the idea of the game where you take a card and then sell cards so that you have money to buy more cards is really ingenious. It's very simple, very evil, and yet works really well in the concept for what it is and plays quickly also. And this is just a really solid game. It's been on my list for a while, and I think it's going to stay there for a while. Domain. Alright, well that's it for this time. Come back in a couple days and we'll have more. There's a lot of things going on, so we're not getting these out as quickly as we can, but my goal is still to have them finished by December. Well anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
And I'm Melody.
And we'll see ya.
Tune into our next show for more Top 10 gaming goodness, or check out our website at www.thedicetower.com for more reviews and top 10 lists. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.